Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here, as you can see, I've already taken the pedals off of the bike, or of the trike. When you take the pedals off, you use your 15mm wrench, and you take your wrench, put it on the pedals, and you push towards the seat. You do this on both sides, it will remove your pedals. The next step that you have to do is take the crank arms off. Now to use the take crank arms off, you're going to need a Allen wrench. Well, I don't know. This one says 15. I don't know why I've got a 15/16 Allen wrench here, but it's the one that works, and it's in my Allen wrench metric set. Oh, okay, wait a minute. This is a 6mm. I don't know. Can't read it. Very hard. 8mm or 5/16 Allen wrench, and you're going to need that to take out this center stub right here. And I can't remember which way these things have to go, so I'm going to have to play with this for a little bit, and you're going to have to give me the benefit of the doubt here. So hold on a sec while I do this. Okay, these were in really tight. More tight than they needed to be. But to give you an idea here, these center posts for these screws that hold in your crank arms, they're regular standard righty-tighty lefty-loosey crank arms. Regular righty-tighty lefty-loosey nuts, bolts, whatever. So they come right out. Once they're loosened up, they come right out. Okay, and this is what they look like. This is the screw. Okay? Alright. Next step we have to do is grab the special tool necessary to take the crank arms off. Now this is a crank arm removal tool. It's from Park Tool, and it's got two different threads here on it. There's a reason for that. So you take this thing right here and you put it into your crank where that bolt just came out of, and you get it threaded in there, and this is how you remove your crank arms. Okay, I got that threaded in. Not all the way there, but good enough. It's going in. There we go. Okay. Nice. Even there. And then what we do is we take this and we turn it like this. And hopefully, oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice and tight. That's going to be a real pain to get off. Okay, I'm going to back this out just a little bit so I can get this in all the way, because I got a feeling I'm going to need it. And oh yeah, this is tough going, I gotta tell you. I gotta use some muscle here to get this thing pulled off. Okay, it's starting to go now, and much to my chagrin, I've discovered something. Not too happy about that. Okay, so I gotta back this off, and we have to do something else first. Okay, I'm gonna have to pop this thing back on. This crank arm does not come off this hub. This is all one piece. I have to take the chain off first. So in order to take off the chain first, what do you gotta do? You gotta loosen up the back wheel, get a little slack, get the chain off. I'm not gonna unhook the chain at the master link at this time. So give me just a moment here. Okay, so I've got the chain off, I've got it hanging here. I can now finished taking off my crank here after I took it off and then put it back on. So we're going to sit here real quick, take this silly thing off again, but it'll come off a lot easier this time. Trust me, a lot easier. Okay, there we go. Now, in case you're wondering, like I said, this is all one piece here. I'm looking at its construction. There's 1, 2, 3 little screws that are holding, and 1, 2, 3 screws that are holding this 30-tooth gear in. I'm going to save this, of course, because someday I want to put this thing back together again in case I ever decide to sell it without the mid-drive in it. So we'll go ahead and do our other side here, and then we'll get our then I'll show you the really crazy thing that you got to do to get this silly thing to go. Okay, so we got that tight all the way down. Let's see how hard this one's going to come off. Now, these things actually have a slight taper to them. Very slight taper to them, and that's why they're on so hard. But they got to be that way. Okay, let's see if I can get this. Oh man, these things are on hard. I wish I had a pipe as a cheater. Whew. I don't want to pull up on it. That'll pull it off the let me tell you, that one is on tight. Okay, I gotta take a break here. Hold on. Okay, I did manage to get this thing loose. I gotta tell you, it was tight. I ended up having to use a rubber mallet on this thing. Okay, so we've got that off. Whew. Well, let me tell you, it took a lot of work to get that off. Well, next thing you got to do, and I'm looking at this thing, there are not one, but there are 2 of these things, and you got to get, this is the special tool to remove the central housing, and I'm hoping that this is going to go a lot easier than that just did, and I don't know which way it's got to go. Okay. I can tell you that I just took my trike literally off the stand breaking that open like that. It is completely unstable now. Wow, almost lost it. Oh, that is on tight. Why do they make these things so blasted tight? I don't know. Okay, but that's how you do it. Okay, folks, I'm back. I gotta tell you, I know these folks, when they build these things, they put them together tight. I kind of wonder if they used an impact wrench on these things. As a master machinist, I used to tighten things up all the time, but these were really tight. If you're going to do this yourself, you better know how to take a bolt out, or a something that's really tight, with keeping your wrench in line properly with it. I had a couple of problems. First of all, I want to talk about this tool here. These little spines on this tool aren't very much to hold on to, and this thing kind of wobbles when you put it in here like this. You notice that right here, I don't know how well you can see that, but there isn't a, you know, it only goes in about, you know, halfway on these teeth, and this thing was extremely hard to get to move. Once I got it loose, after about 3 turns, it started coming out. Now, the way this central spindle is put together, it looks like it screws in from this side, and this right here is the retaining one. So I'm going to go ahead and start to finish disassembling this thing right in front of you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, this thing's pretty much coming out by itself. Whoops, there it goes. Oh, great. Hold on just a second here. Love these grabber tools. So this right here is the one that holds it, that tightens it up. Now we're going to take out the other one. And hopefully we'll be able to get this thing out. Okay, yeah. Once I got it loose, it's okay, yeah, it all comes out in one piece. Okay, there we go. So here's our spindle. Terra Trike spindle. Okay? And like I said, you can see, looking in here, this thing does not sit in there very deeply. And you get all that pressure that you're putting on it, trying to loosen it up. Okay, so we have our Terra Trike spindle removed. I'm going to change the camera here a little bit, because I'm going to take my handy dandy little grease rag here, kind of clean this stuff up a little bit, because the next thing that goes on is going to be our Bafang motor. And you're going to want to see how that goes on. Now, there is a reason I have not put, or I have not disconnected the chain. The reason is very simple. These are very long chain tubes, and the easiest way to put another chain through them is to pull the old chain out with the new chain attached. I may not get that option, but what I can do is tie a piece of string between one of the links and then pull it out the other end so that the piece of string is still staying here. And then again do it with the bottom, and I'll have 2 pieces of strings coming down, and so when I put the new chain in, I'll have something to pull it through with. Okay? It'll make it a lot easier putting the new chain on. Now, as far as the spindle here, let me make some adjustments to the camera and I'll show you what we've got. See if you can see down in there. There we go. You can see what it looks like in there. I know I can. It's fairly smooth. And this is where the Bafang motor is going to go. So, let me go grab the Bafang motor.